the Lambton County Authority. This is just an example of some of the tertiary systems that are being used in our particular region. And I'll just indicate what the secondary and treatment conditions are. The first one is a biomass system that contains a polymer type of medium, almost looks like a sponge, and it has in it two pumps. So one is a recirculating pump and the other is an aerating pump. It is particularly noted for the fact that it is a system that reduces the amount of nitrates quite substantially more than most of the other ones do. The EcoFlow is one that has been installed in Wee Lakes. It, in addition to the septic tank, has a bottomless peat filter tank. And the peat then simply works on the effluent and reduces all of the BODs, CODs, and suspended solids down to acceptable values. It also has an effect in reducing some of the nitrates, but not as good as some of the other systems. The EnviroSeptic system, we had the opportunity of actually watching one being installed in Pinery Bluffs. It looks just like a conventional system, except that the weeping tiles are made up of a pipe that contains 4 layers of different type of materials. And those layers support various biological activity that cleans up the water before, again, it is allowed into the groundwater. What we found in this one here, and it probably occurs in some of the other ones, the EnviroSeptic had a little chamber that was installed below one of the pipes that allowed the inspector to come in once a year, take some of the resulting effluent water that was going into the ground and testing it for nutrients to make sure that it was meeting the standards required for a tertiary system. FAST system is a fixed activated sludge treatment system that uses an air pump in the second chamber of a dual chamber tank. The manufacturer claims that there is a 70% reduction in total nitrogen with this particular one. Waterloo biofilter also has been installed in a number of homes. I think this is the choice in Beach of Pines. It uses an aerobic trickle that filters on, again, a type of a sponge type material with a circulating pump that puts it through several times and gives a fairly good treatment and far exceeds the standards that are required for tertiary systems. As Ernie told you, most of these systems vary in price and location. As a general ballpark figure, you can look at about $15,000 for the system installed. So, what does this mean then? Zones 3 and 4 have exclusively septic systems. Some data, some of these date back from the 1950s when steel tanks and dry wells were the norm. Systems over 30 years old should be actually identified, inspected very thoroughly, and if they're found not functioning, should be required to be upgraded to a tertiary level. As you've been told about the replacement cost, it could be quite substantial to some individuals since we do live in a retirement community on fixed income. And I think it would be our recommendation to the council, if they were to maintain this, that there be in some form of an incentive program to allow homeowners then to upgrade to a tertiary system, and perhaps even maybe a grant program that makes it more affordable to them. We believe that the municipality should investigate such grants and maybe loan programs to assist homeowners, and this in turn will then clean up the environment properly. Thank you very much. over to Elizabeth. Talk about taxation.
Down to the black one. So I thought I had to.
Good morning. It's almost afternoon, right? Task Team 4 was charged with review of the financial aspects of Lambton Shores' proposed construction of a new sewage treatment facility and to replace the existing lagoon facility, as well as the proposed new sanitary sewer collection system for Zone 3 and 4. As you will see on this next slide, it states the revised mandate provided by Council. And this expanded mandate empowered Task Team 4 to give a thorough examination of financial concerns expressed by the public. You'll find this also on your agenda handouts. Our full report, including the sources for all of our numbers, is available upon request, and the following is a summary. Key financial questions emerged in reviewing the information provided by Lambton Shores staff as follows. First, what are the gross and net costs of the proposed sewage treatment facility? On June 23, 2010, Lambton Shores entered into a tri-municipal agreement with the municipalities of Bluewater and South Huron for the joint construction and operation of a sewage treatment facility on the lands of the existing lagoons east of Grand Bend that are jointly owned by Lambton Shores and South Huron. The gross and net costs for the sewage treatment facility are shown on the chart here. Can everyone see that okay? Is it focused well? Wouldn't help at all? Does that help better? A little bit better?
A little better.
You'll see that the cost to Lambton Shores, according to the tri-municipal agreement, the net cost would be $5,344,146. The total cost, the second number circled, the total cost of the sewage treatment facility and net value would be $11,041,624. If you can see the percentages above the header, they represent each municipality's share of the plant capacity as the capital and ownership costs, as well as the capital and ownership costs, as set out in the tri-municipal agreement. The operating costs would be shared on a flow proportional basis. Gross capital costs, you'll see on the left-hand side, these include the design, engineering, construction, contingency, a small allowance for miscellaneous expenses, and net HST costs, as the municipalities will receive a portion of the HST back. The Build Canada grant is limited to 2/3 of the gross costs, up to a maximum of $22,350,000, and is shared equally by the provincial and federal governments. According to the terms of the tri-municipal agreement, on or before December 31st, 2011, the three parties are required to provide notice if they intend to remain in the project or withdraw from it. In light of the fact that there are published reports stating that Bluewater and South Huron intend to withdraw from the project, Lambton Shores must consider the financial impact of carrying the cost of the entire project alone. As you can see in this chart, the cost of the facility, after grant monies are deducted, is over $11 million. The net cost to Lambton Shores is further reduced by a contribution from Pinery Provincial Park toward the cost of the new sewage treatment facility. The net cost of the plant to Lambton Shores after deduction of the Pinery contribution would be over $9.5 million. Next question, how secure is the funding from the provincial and federal governments? Federal and provincial funding from the Build Canada Fund has been confirmed as of April 15, 2009, subject to completion by March 30.